Hurricane Idalia, the 9th named storm of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, is bearing down on Florida.
Idalia intensified to a Category 4 hurricane as it barreled towards Florida's Big Bend region before making landfall as a Category 3 storm. And joining us now from Treasure Island is ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee. And Ginger, we can see that you're surrounded by water. What's the latest on the ground now?
Yeah, DeMarco and Ariel, it's great to be with you. So through the last 6 to 8 hours, we have watched the streets here of Treasure Island fill with water. This is coastal flooding. Their drone that we had earlier shows the breaches in some of the dunes. You know, Treasure Island have actually told stories here on these little susceptible barrier islands because their erosion's been so bad. Any push of water is going to be a problem, and it certainly is this morning. We will see another high tide about noon 1 today, and I'm worried that the onshore flow is not going to stop from there. Now, of course, we made history this morning. Officially, a Category 3 made landfall in the Appalachian Bay, so in that Big Bend area. We have never seen a Cat 3 or higher since records began in 1851, and this is just, it is a part of Florida that doesn't see it of this strength that often. So when you've got that, and then it's racing. I mean, this thing was going 20 miles per hour to the north-northeast. You see big-time wind damage from Perry, Florida. Those extreme wind warnings got up to the Georgia state line earlier. We've had tornado warnings and watches are all over Georgia and Florida. But it's not just these two states. You know, the causeway here around Tampa Bay, I-275, a big problem, and it should be through this afternoon. It really won't release until later tonight. But remember, Hilton Head is still in a hurricane warning. North Carolina's Outer Banks will get some of the whip from this. So there's a lot yet to happen. I think Charleston and Savannah are really the next places we're going to see big water piling up like this.
It's a huge swath of land that's now affected by this, Ginger, and we know that 20 Florida counties are under an evacuation watch. How are those evacuation efforts going? Are people heeding these warnings?
You know, at the coast, it's too late. If you didn't leave, you know, Steinhatchee or Keaton Beach, or perhaps Cedar Key, it is far too late. The water's up. It is going to recede slowly, but anybody who needs help in there, it's going to be hours before they can get it. I've covered these types of storms, and it's really tough where you get that surge of 10-plus feet. Around here, we've seen some high-profile vehicles making their way through with rescue kind of areas, but we haven't seen anybody in it. So it doesn't appear that anyone, at least around here, has needed rescue. But if you can look over here, a lot of the businesses and stores did get ready with sandbagging, and I think it helped a lot of places because the water got up to or into some of the businesses around here, and I'm sure some of the condo buildings as well, because this is such a populated area, all the way down to St. Pete, up to Madeira Beach. And I mean, some of the Horseshoe, you know, way up, Horseshoe Bay was saying gusts upwards of 70, 80 miles per hour, and then they had that big push of water as well.
And we can see those pictures that you just showed us and see cars actually moving through. But how bad is the flooding, and what more can we expect?
Yeah, you know, we're like 120 miles from where the center made landfall, so this is the type of flooding you get that far away. I've been in the eye wall of Cat 4s and 5s and 3s, and we made this graphic a while back because I wanted to emphasize to people how dangerous surge can be. When you get an 8+ foot surge, you can twist buildings off of their foundation and roll them down the street. I've seen it with my own eyes several times. Nearly 5 years ago in Cat 5, Hurricane Michael back in Mexico Beach, Florida, you know, just east of Panama City. And then just last year, Hurricane Ian, when I was right at the end of the Sanibel Causeway, they were taking on water even yesterday from this storm, just less than a year from when they were just slammed with that Category 4 storm.
Yeah, and Ginger, we just saw a car drive right through those floodwaters, which is exactly what you tell people not to do. It is so dangerous. But how much longer could we see this system last?
Right, so down here, I'd say through the afternoon and early evening, if you can avoid travel around the areas that are already flooded, it's only going to go a little up from here when we get closer to high tides, so just beware of that. Tampa Bay area, which is heavily populated. Now my concern really through the afternoon goes into South Carolina, you know, and coastal Georgia, and eventually tonight into North Carolina because of the tropical storm force winds. You can see all of them up to the Outer Banks, down to Orlando, and the hurricane warning that extends all the way to Hilton Head. Guys.
All right, Ginger Zee, right in the thick of it and keeping us informed. Stay safe, friend. We appreciate it.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.